Well, I know a lot of people are stuck at home right now, and we're looking for ways to help. We, coming up with videos can be helpful for people that can't make it to the studio. And this is not my favorite medium by far, but it seems to be effective right now. And my son is happy I'm finally doing some videos that I can post on YouTube and on Instagram. But I have a hard enough time taking photos, let alone being in front of a camera. But anyways, I did want to share a morning routine that I have. I've been doing regularly for about 4 months. And it's not a long time, but enough that I've really noticed some differences in just how I feel physically, how I feel towards myself, even how I relate with other people. And it's one of those hard to explain, maybe not even believable, but I would encourage people to try. And it's a lot of meditation and stretching. So as I roll out of bed, my eyes are still pretty much closed, and I have my yoga mat just waiting for me to I can sit right on it, find a block, which I have under me right now, kind of get comfortable. It may not look like this for you. You don't have to have a cross-legged seat. You don't have to have your thumb and index fingers connected. Sometimes I may be like this, maybe like this. It just doesn't really matter. And to settle into my space, I'll start by some alternate nostril breathing, maybe 10 rounds, breathing in through one nostril, closing the other. So I may do that for about 10, 15 breaths. And then as I get into my more meditation, I'll start with affirmations. It just helps me. Obviously, I'm telling this to myself as I'm breathing, but I'll say them out loud for the video. And I will literally just tell myself, inhale peace, exhale judgment, inhale serenity, exhale control, inhale courage, exhale fear. And I'll repeat those maybe 5 times each. I might even stay on one 20 times if I feel the need. Lately it's been serenity and control. A lot of things I can't control, but even before what's going on now, like my issue with just wanting to control has been there, and this has been just a great, useful affirmation. And as I finish with that, I'll settle, just finding some quiet time. And I'll try to bring my attention to my breathing. I'll try to bring my attention to sound. I'm not filming this at home or in the morning. I'm at the studio if you can't tell. We got this screen. I don't know if it works, but I'm trying to create a homey type setting. We're limited on props at the studio, so. But I might listen to the birds. I hear them at 5:30 in the morning, which can keep me grounded. And whatever keeps me away from kind of thinking about what am I going to do after this, what I have to do later on today. As I do, I'll catch myself and I'll, Anil, just remember what's important right now, and I go back to focusing either on my third eye, space in between the eyebrows, bring my attention more towards my heart, or just my breath. And it's varying. It's like this kind of like conundrum of where my mind goes. I'm just constantly trying to reel it back. And I'll do this for about 15 minutes. And a lot of times I'll go, I don't realize what time it is. I don't typically set an alarm. I'll have my phone and I might just check it periodically if I need to. And sometimes I can check and be like, oh, it's only been 3 minutes and I feel like it's been 10. And sometimes the opposite is true, but I'll stick with it. And then I'll come into my stretching after this, after meditation. If I don't have time, I won't ever shorten the meditation. I'll just do without the stretching component. But I don't ever forego the meditation. And I'll just turn this way so you guys can see. But I start with pretty light stretching, coming to a forward fold. See, my knees are a lot of bend here, just a light stretching into the hamstrings. And I still try to keep attention to breath. And usually my eyes are still just closed as I'm trying to just keep my attention inward. And from here, I'll just roll on my back and then just some stretching here, drawing the right knee in towards the chest. And then send my left leg, or right leg up and then back. And I think in the morning it might look more like this because I'm really stiff. But as I open up, and then just switch sides. Even here, I like to just visually think about the muscles I'm stretching. Mainly to help me stay present. So my mind, again, is not wandering. And hug my knees, thighs in towards the chest. And I'll make my way up. Coming into a lunge. Just bringing both hips forward here. You can draw the shoulders back. So each pose I might hold for 5 breaths. Many times I'll hold for longer if I just want to stay more in a particular muscle group. And from here, I'll come into a lizard pose shape, palms down on my mat. I won't come onto my forearms here. Instead, I'll just sway my hips from one side to the other, just pausing and just feeling a stretch. Just gently press my right thigh away. And from here, come into it, Skandasana. A little hip opener here. Coming to the shoulders, taking a bind. If I can reach for my wrist, and even my gaze might just be on the mat. So really letting my breath open up these stretches. Because again, especially in the morning, I'm usually a lot more tight. I'm not very willing to do anything that requires too much physical energy. And then I'll come up, coming to the other side. And this time, spine forward, low lunge. Toe heel this left foot out. And even here, just kind of, I don't know what this is called even. Just swaying, just moving. Where do you want to feel a stretch? It's very, particular to you. Because what might feel like a stretch for me, you might not feel anything, vice versa. I think it's more breathing while I'm doing this that makes it effective, makes it helpful. For some reason, as I do this, my day just ends differently for the most part. through. Come into a hamstring stretch, into this half split. And I usually start with my left side, mainly because it's my most tight side, and I usually don't like being on stretching the left, so I'll start with it. And here again, I'll ease into this. And I could be in this pose for maybe 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes even, if I have time. If not, I'll do about 20 breaths. And just slowly ease into this. And then I'll just switch. Do the lunge on with the right heel forward. Again, trying to keep a flat back. Just let my breath kind of keep me in. I try to always find some sort of little movements here. I could even just windshield wiper this leg, slight subtle, drawing this left hip back and then forward. You're just feeling my shoulder blades come in together. All these different movements to take. And from here, coming into my shoulders, interlace fingers. Maybe your knuckles will reach the mat. And here, just breathing through the chest, just opening up. Maybe drawing your chin back. If I'm feeling fiery at this point, I may just begin to lift the hips up. Maybe holding that for 5 or 10 breaths. And coming into heart-melting pose, again for the shoulders. So really trying to breathe into my spine, breathing for the shoulders, just relax. Coming back up. So depending on my mood at this point, I may take a Navasana just to feel like I'm working my core in the morning. I could hold my hands to my thighs the whole time. I may open up. Typically this is about all I'll do. And then coming to some internal and external rotations. I'll bring my feet wide to internally rotate and feel a stretch on my external rotators, feeling a stretch here. Flexing both feet and just drawing my knees together. My thighs may touch depending on how close my feet are. That's not really the point. It's more to just find that stretch along the outsides of the legs. And then come in to externally rotate, maybe lean forward, but I'm not even coming to a deep forward fold, more just opening up through the hips. And then from here, maybe come into one final child's pose. Is a way to just reground if I want to come back to any of those affirmations or just set an intention for the day. And for some reason, that has really helped me